Buenos dias, amigos! I'm back in Mexico City. I'm staying here for a few days before continuing the Mexican adventure up north from here. So, today you're seeing me in a nice suit. That's not usually the case, and that's because today we're about to do something which we usually don't do on this channel. This city, Mexico City, has so much to offer. It's got everything. It's the world's best mega city for a reason. And as such, it also obviously has a rich area. It's not only, and that area is not only the richest area of Mexico City, but the richest area of all of Mexico. It is called the Beverly Hills of Mexico. An area called, disculpa, an area called Polanco. Never been tempted to go there, but let's see how it is and what we can find there, and if we can afford some food there or a coffee. Let's see what Mexico's richest area is like. Vamos! The hustle of Mexico City metro stations on a Monday for you guys. Pretty effective, but a madness. Finally made it. If there's one thing I really don't like in this city, it's the metro. It's cheap, it's reliable, alright, always on time, but it's always crowded, too crowded, and so sweaty. It always gets too hot here, and yeah, if you've got to cross the entire city, then I don't recommend it. If you've got to do it for like a 10-20 minute ride, alright, but if it's for a huge ride, a massive ride, I don't recommend it. It's too sweaty. I mean, look how crowded it is here. It's just a madness. But anyway, we've made it. Now let's get out of the station and see what Polanco is like. Let's see what Polanco is like, Mexico's richest neighborhood. Right guys, so I'm starting my exploration of Polanco here with some coffee. Then you have to have coffee, and I always like to compare coffee prices in different areas of big cities. And here in Polanco, the richest area of town, is the same price as everywhere else. It's 40 pesos for a large Americano. Delicious Mexican coffee, so €2 for coffee, that's alright. So a good start. And yeah, not far away from here, just a few blocks down here, is Mexico's most expensive street. Avenida Presidente Mazarik is something. The President Mazarik Avenue. It is literally Mexico's most expensive street. So of course we got to go there. Now this area here is called the Beverly Hills of Mexico, due to all the famous persons and rich persons, celebrities, millionaires that live here. Politicians live here. Doctors, famous sports persons, footballers, narco top dogs, you name it. So yeah, this area here is home to Mexico's high class, high upper class. So yeah, let's just hope that the rain of this flipping rainy season, I mean look at the sky, it's not going to ruin the video, because it's very early. Because from the afternoon, from 3 p.m. or something, it's always raining through until midnight. It's not the best time of the year to visit Mexico City, I gotta tell you that. The rain, destroys the vibe a bit. But yeah, we gotta hope for the best and hope that it's not gonna start raining while we're here. So, cheers, let me just finish my coffee and we'll continue. So right guys, this is it, this is Polanco, Mexico's richest neighborhood. And right ahead of us is Mexico's most expensive and most exclusive street, the Avenida Presidente Mazarik, the President Mazarik Avenue. So yeah, let's check it out. But so far, it doesn't look a lot different to other areas I've seen in Mexico City. to be honest with you. Doesn't look pretty shiny, pretty fancy at all. And there's also loads of museums in the neighborhood of Polanco, and technically speaking, I've already been here because the Bosque de Chapultepec, the massive park, America's biggest outdoor park, where we've been to last time I was here, actually technically already belongs to the borough of Polanco. And thus all the museums and the castle inside that park, that giant park, already belong to this neighborhood. But in the neighborhood itself, I have never been. This is my first time. And yeah, I've never been really tempted to come here. I'm not so much into these, fancy places, especially when I'm in Latin America, because I think you can get that anywhere in the world, especially in the West, these fancy areas. But now, I reckon that it was time to check it out. Check it out. Here we've got the first shops. I think this is the start of the Presidente Mazarik Street. Yes, it is. The street here is basically full of shopping options, of fancy, rich, shiny shopping options. Check it out, guys. Here we can tell that we're in the most expensive street of Mexico. Here we've got the Lexus Polanco shop. So if you want to buy a Lexus car and you're in Mexico, you come here to Lexus Polanco. So first, fancy shop on the most expensive street, the most exclusive street of Mexico. And here we've got a probably very expensive Mexican restaurant. I reckon that all the restaurants in this street are super expensive. Man, it's so great. Apart from the fact that it's not cold, it feels like London, to be honest. Argentinian steakhouse here, Rincon Argentino. Here we've got Smart Fit, a gym. So if you're rich and you're in Mexico City, you can go to the gym here to Smart Fit, and then after the gym get a good Argentine steak right next door. Man, full of fancy restaurants here. But apart from that, apart from the few fancy shops and the fancy restaurants, it honestly doesn't feel a lot different in this street here than in the rest of the city, especially in the Roma Condesa neighborhoods. You know, Roma and Condesa are like the nightlife hipster area of Mexico City. And this here is the millionaire area. But to be honest with you, okay, here we've got some fancy shops, some fancy stores. But apart from that, it doesn't really feel a lot different to Condesa, I've got to tell you. I thought it would be a lot more shiny, a lot more fancy here. We even got some street food here, check it out. Got some street tacos in Mexico's richest street. So even in Mexico's most expensive street, you got some street tacos. Man, this country is amazing. Where else in the world would you get this in the most expensive streets? If you went to the most expensive street in London or Paris or Berlin, you probably wouldn't get some $2 street food. What do you reckon, guys? Do you think my shoes need a little clean, a little fix? I think they do. So let's ask this gentleman here how much it costs. Hola, buenas. ¿Cuánto por limpiar mis zapatitos?
40, joven.
40?
40 bien lavaditos.
Ok, está bien. Gracias. Gracias. Si necesitan un poquito una limpia.
Claro que sí.
$2, guys. You got your shoes fixed in Mexico's richest street. Not too bad.
Luxemburgo. ¿Y qué idiomas hablan? ¿Inglés? ¿Portugués? ¿Qué hablan?
La lengua. Bueno, tenemos nuestra propia lengua. Sí. es muy raro, es una de las lenguas más raras de Europa. Pero tenemos nuestra propia lengua. Tenemos 4 lenguas oficiales que aprendemos en la escuela. Nuestra lengua es luxemburgués, pues aprendemos alemán, francés y inglés en la escuela. Nosotros tenemos también una reina, una monarca, y ella es cubana. Nuestro rey se tome una cubana. Como nuevos.
Como nuevos.
Perfecto, amigo. Gracias. Aquí tiene.
Sí, joven.
¿Cómo te llamas tú?
Pablo.
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 Okay. Si llegan en la avenida Mazarik, llegan para Pablo. Pablo.
Gracias.
I've just cleaned my shoes. Got a shoe fix here. Check it out. For $2 in Avenida Mazarik, in Mexico's richest, most expensive street. Pablo has just told me that this restaurant here, this Ryoshi, it's a sushi restaurant, a sushi place, a Japanese restaurant. Here you get one meal, cost about between 1,000 and 1,500 pesos here. That's 50 to 75 euros. That's crazy. And we have managed to get a shoe clean here for $2. I didn't expect it, guys. I didn't go out of the house today thinking that I need to clean my shoes today. But when I saw that guy, I asked him how much it is, and I was so surprised that he only asked me $2. It's crazy. And Pablo has also told me that here in this street, in the Mazarik Avenue, the rent is paid in dollars. That's crazy. Here we've got another sushi restaurant. Okay, now I'm realizing that we're in Mexico's fanciest street because there's sushi restaurants everywhere. But I've got to admit that I thought it was a bit more obvious, you know, a bit fancier, a bit shinier. Loads of car shops here. You can get your Aston Martin. You can buy an Aston Martin here. Yo quería, señora, pero no tengo monedas. Yo quería. Que tiene buen día. Here's a Starbucks, of course. You need Starbucks. If you're a fancy area, if you're an expensive street, you need Starbucks. But to be fair, Starbucks is everywhere here in Mexico. The Mexicans just love Starbucks. I don't know why. Their coffee is gross. And here we've got some palm trees. Palm trees lining the streets. Alright. Then you can tell that you're in a rich neighborhood. And here we've got some tacos. For 10 pesos per taco. Not bad, 50 cents per taco. Here we've got a bar. I'm not drinking beer today because it's Monday. I don't drink on Mondays. The other days of the week I drink. I only drink on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and sometimes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Sometimes, but never on Mondays. But I didn't expect, to be honest, to find street food in this area. So we might even go for some street tacos later on. To be honest, guys, apart from the palm trees and the fancy shops and also the car shops, you don't really feel like being in a fancy neighborhood, especially due to all the street foods you get around here. Super surprised. I always avoided this area. I was never interested in coming here, and because I thought it was super expensive, super posh, you know, because it is the posh area of Mexico, but not at all, honestly. I mean, it might be a bit more expensive to live here, but I mean, you can still clean your shoes here for $2. So even Mexico's richest streets might be affordable. Surely more affordable than posh areas in the West. Mexico's most posh area for you. And right here we've got one of Mexico's most famous clothing stores, a place called Liverpool. Very famous. They could have chosen another name though. They should have called it Chelsea instead of Liverpool. Here we'd go into a store called Liverpool. I sat down at this fancy looking bakery here, check it out, for a sandwich, because I felt a little hungry and we still got to walk for a while. And yeah, I'm not in the mood for tacos. We've got loads of options here for tacos, surely very good ones. And not very expensive probably, but I'm not in the mood for tacos. I've already had too many tacos since I'm back in Mexico. Right guys, my posh sandwich here in the posh area of Mexico City has arrived, check it out. We could have obviously gone for street tacos, but when we're in a posh area once, we've got to eat posh sandwiches. €3.50. So yeah, let's tuck in. That's quality. I approve. This is actually the first real baguette that I've eaten in Mexico. So yeah, cheers to that. So, we've had our meal, we've had our coffee, we've cleaned our shoes, and all of that for just under €10. So, even in the poshest area of Mexico, you get around with not a lot of money. And I've got to tell you guys that this area here, wow, pretty nice, is a lot less excessively posh as I thought it was going to be. I always avoided this area because I thought, you know, it would be too posh for my liking, but quite honestly it's not. You've still got your cheap places to eat out, many supermarkets around, and of course you've got your fancy restaurants, fancy clothing stores. You can buy fancy cars here, have an expensive fancy Starbucks coffee, but still a lot less excessively posh than I expected it to be. It is full of parks and greenery. Another reason for me why I love this city. The best city on earth. You can't match it. Nothing matches Mexico City. Check it out. What a city. Wow. Quite honestly, not at all what I expected. Quite a nice place to live. I can understand all of these football players, politicians, and yeah, narco bosses that live here. I mean, it's a nice spot. I mean, if you live here in Polanco, then you've made it in Mexico. Right here, we've got like a Spanish hospital, an Hospital Español. Welcome to Polanco. Check it out guys, I think we've reached the real posh area of the city, right behind me. This looks more like it, right? When I'm telling you that this is the richest part of Mexico City and the richest area in all of Mexico. Now this looks fancy. That's the Polanco that I expected when I came here this morning. But then it's only this plaza. I mean, look right at the opposite end of the street. I mean, what we can definitely reiterate from today's video is that even in Mexico's most exclusive, fanciest barrio, it is still possible, if you really want to live affordable. I mean, not with your rent. I mean, to live here is expensive. It's the most expensive rent in all of Mexico. But, I mean, if you come here as a visitor for a few drinks, with some food, you still have cheap options here. It's not as exclusive as I thought it to be. Man, look at this mall, wow. Welcome. Oh yeah. Looks very American in here. Very Western. But this is also Mexico City, guys. For every mega city, it also has a posh area. And here it is. And here you've got a cinema. Cinepolis. Yeah. This looks like the malls in my country. If you are looking for a fancy mall in Mexico City, this is your place to come. Another Starbucks. As always, it's crowded. Mexicans just love Starbucks. But damn, look at the view from up here. Nice place, surely a good place to take a girl out on a date, go for some good foods. We've got nearly everything to eat out here, decent coffee. Right guys, so we've made it now to really the most central part of Polanco. Check it out, we've got an Apple store, a massive Apple store over there, another Starbucks over there, massive office buildings. Here we've got a fancy seafood restaurant, and here we've got another mall with Louis, Sephora, Hugo Boss. All of the fancy brands are present here in Polanco. And the sky is starting to darken up, so that's a sign for the rain to come. So we've got to finish the video. I wanted to finish it at a good place, at Polanco's most famous spot. Even here you've got street vendors, check it out. That's what I really love about Mexico, wherever you are. If you're in a poor area or a middle class area, or even here in a posh area, in the poshest area of the country, you'll still get street vendors that will sell you cheap food, cheap drinks. Really love it. And here we've got some street vegetable vendors here. A street vegetable market right in the middle of the poshest area of Mexico City. Man, this country is amazing. And it's right next to probably Polanco's most famous place. And wow, it looks astonishing. It's the first time that I've been here. In all the time I've spent in Mexico City already, I've never come here. But here we are, guys. Here, besides that giant, naked statue, we've got the Soumaya Museum. This is an art museum, Mexico City's most famous art museum. There's art galleries there from all over the world. And entrance is for free. So yeah, but look at all the people queuing up to get in. It's one of the most famous places here in Mexico City. I'm not so much into art. If I was, I would probably be standing there as well now. But yeah, if you're into art, this is a must when you're in Mexico City. It's one of America's most famous art museums. Be honest, guys, when you're from Europe, or from the US, or from Australia, from somewhere in the West, and you think of Mexico and Mexico City, you probably didn't know that a place like this existed in Mexico City. You probably think that Mexico City is dodgy, dangerous, polluted, But no, this city here remains my favorite city in the world. And I can't get enough of it. I've been here many times now and still haven't seen everything. And yeah, most people in the West don't know about this side of Mexico. And I keep saying it, Mexico City is a lot safer than most Western cities. It's safer than Paris, London, Brussels, Berlin, probably also safer than New York or Detroit, San Francisco, Los Angeles. So don't be afraid to come here. There's a lot to do here for everyone, for every kind of taste. And for every kind of budget as well. Even in the country's most expensive, most posh, most exclusive area, here in Polanco, you get around affordably. You get affordable foods, street vendors, affordable drinks. So yeah, this country is amazing and this city is amazing. And with that being said, guys, with the rain approaching, flipping rainy season, I think it's the end of the video. And yeah, I'll be leaving Mexico City again tomorrow, continue the Mexican adventure towards places I haven't been to yet, that we haven't been to yet. I'll be going up north, so I'll see you guys there. I'll let you guys in the comments where exactly I'll be heading to next. And then, yeah, in a bit over a week, I'll be back again in Mexico City, because we've been to Tepito now, the most dangerous barrio of the city, and we've been to Polanco, the most expensive and exclusive barrio of the city, of the country. And yeah, we've been to the Aztec Stadium. We've already done a lot here, but still, I think there's more to do here. So, I'll see you guys in the next video from Mexico. And very soon again, we'll be back in the world's best mega city. Hasta luego, amigos. I'll see you in the next one from Mexico. And very soon again, we'll explore more of Ciudad de Mexico. Way. Viva Mexico. You get cheap street food everywhere in this country. It's amazing. I couldn't resist to try out the street chicken tacos here in the richest area of Mexico. Chicken breast tacos for 30 pesos each, so €1.5, so not too bad. Viva Mexico.